I've said it before, and I'll admit it again. Bad Friends is the podcast that got me into comedy podcasts, post-Harmontown. I really like Bobby Lee, and most of the time, I like the way he interacts / is prompted by Andrew Santino. There have been a few times where I've been tempted to cover moments on Bad Friends, but nothing got my fingers a-wiggling. That is, not until Jack Black was a guest on their show and held nothing back.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Every time. They say that every time.
A guy walked up to me on the phone in Scotland on FaceTime. I was at a hotel on the phone with my wife. The guy's on FaceTime, and he just jams his phone in front of my face because he's on with a friend of his. And I took everything inside of me not to just take his phone and throw it as far as I could, because it was crazy rude. He was just like shoved it in my face.
Yeah.
Now I think my generation of like, don't say anything, I'm just going to leave him alone. Now people don't give a shit at all. They'll shove a phone right in your face. They'll record you. It's crazy now. No, there's no rules.
Yeah.
No rules.
There's no rules, but there's also no way to win, because if you throw the phone, you're an asshole. If you take the phone and play along and talk to the stranger on the thing for the stranger, then you're being a foolish person, because now you're getting stuck in a weird situation. I always end up doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll talk to the person. But if I'm like late for a thing, or I'm with someone that's a friend or a family, I will kind of keep it short and
just go, hey man, it just was weird. It was the weirdest. He like put it on my face.
I can't imagine you. I mean, your face must have changed color.
For those of you who don't know, Andrew, we know, reported, fuck that clown, Santino, has one hell of a temper. To his credit, he's found a way to use it to his advantage in comedy. But there are times when it rears its ugly head. In this case, it's as he's telling us a story. Even Bobby pointed out that the person shoving the phone in his face must have pissed him off. But check out Jack's reaction.
It just was weird. It was the weirdest. He like put it on my face.
I can't imagine you. I mean, your face must have changed colors.
Yeah, I don't like that.
the key is the pivot. How do you stick and move so that it takes the least amount of time? And that way, I think it's best to go high impact. Give me that fucking phone. What's up, you fucking asshole? Love you. Bye. Give them the experience and then move.
Write that down. High impact. That's why I'm going to try that style. Look, can I try high impact?
I was the opposite. He put it in my face. I go, come on, man. And I walked away.
Yeah.
Come on. What are you doing?
Can I try high impact?
Yeah.
I want to practice.
I think you're a little high impact anyway.
Right now?
Yeah. No, always.
Okay.
Do it. Go for it.
Well, give me the phone. Put the phone on my face.
Hey, man. We talked to my buddy.
Now, Jack gave some good advice here, but Andrew was still in his feels, if you will. Did you notice how, when Bobby got stoked on what Jack said, Andrew was still lingering on how mad it made him? See, Andrew has been in some big-name pictures by this point, including the movie Ricky Stenicki, where he co-starred next to Zac Efron and John You Can't See Me Cena. I personally think that this moment is a result of Andrew trying to play I'm a celebrity too with Jack Black. Now let's see how this moment develops.
Do it. Go for it.
Well, give me the phone. Put the phone on my face.
Hey, man. We talked to my buddy.
That's
I told
great.
you he was Asian.
Right. Here's the problem with what you did, Andrew. It's for me, if I do what you did and you're like, no, pass. Thank you, but no thank you. And I walk away, it stays with me.
Oh, yeah, no.
I disappointed that person. It'll fucking stick with me for days. Sometimes weeks. I'll think, why was I such an asshole to that one bro? All I had to do was fucking...
Not for nothing, but Jack just low-key called Andrew, or at least his actions that of, an asshole.
It'll fucking stick with me for days. Sometimes weeks. I'll think, why was I such an asshole to that one bro? All I had to do was fucking...
Yeah.
So I will usually err on the side of give him something.
Give him a little.
Give him a little something.
If it's appropriate, I always do. But this was like drunk, rude, shove a phone in my face. I was like...
So here, Andrew backpedals a little bit and changes the story to make the rude man a drunk. But that's not all. Later in the episode, they're discussing where to get a good burger in LA. Jack Black tells them about a good place, and Andrew decides it's time for him to show his knowledge off. Only, When Jack is less than impressed, Andrew seems to stretch the story a bit.
Guess what?
What?
Got a great cheeseburger in there.
No. At Yucca's.
Yeah.
My favorite burger in LA is only because it's nostalgic for me. But there's a place on the west side where Venice meets the water called Hanano. Do you know about Hanano?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you said that earlier or if he said that, but Hanano is an old cafe right on the water almost, and Jim Morrison used to play there. He used to live around the corner. It's got wood chips all over the floor still.
Big
One of those
deal.
old school
Oh
bars.
my God, you don't like the Doors?
Big deal.
What?
Jim Morrison used to play there?
Yeah, so Morrison used to live around the corner from there in Venice, and I guess he would walk there. I would look and see if you could get the inside of that place. It's awesome. It's still got wood chips on the ground like the old bars used to.
Yeah, but when you go to a hot dog stand, you see a photo of Barack
That's it.
Obama eating the hot dog. It doesn't do anything for me. That's all. Let's just move on.
That's not
Thank you.
I would think it's probably a good hot dog.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's not going to mess around with
Yeah.
a substandard hot
And then
dog.
go to if you
Wait. Stay on that photo. Stay on that photo real quick. All right.
diversity.
Already, I like the hamburger because look at that guy.
Look at that guy.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah.
So on the other side of the bar is where the bands still play. They still have music there at night. See there where the pool table is. Go to that fifth picture down or whatever. You can see there's a pool table. So bands play in that corner there, and it's like an old surf. But the best part is the reason I like this is it's always been a cheap, affordable burger. We used to live on the west side, and there is no kitchen. They cook the burger right next to the taps. So there's a flat top grill next to the taps. So that's where you get your burger from. Right there. There it is. Right when you walk in.
Wow.
He's slinging them right out front. It's the best.
And this is back when it was before Jim Morrison was in the Doors. He would go in there and just like do open mic night.
No. There was nights when he was with the Doors. He would go
The
play.
Doors played that hamburger. No,
Jim would play by himself there. Would go play. You can go ask him too. They'll talk about it. Look, there's an original picture of Hanano from back.
how
in the
does
day.
he play by himself? He just sings.
He would just sing and play guitar. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what they said. He would show up there and just sing. Now whether that's local lore, I don't
It's
care.
local lore.
they don't have any evidence. They don't have photographic evidence.
No, there's pictures of Jim at the bar, but I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I like it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, I don't give a shit. I like it. If he hung out there even, I was like, that's kind of fucking rad.
And he was already a rock star. You're saying he would also do
already
that.
famous. Yeah,
He didn't need to perform for free cheeseburgers.
I'm sure he was. If we're being honest, I'm sure he was probably fucked up out of his mind.
Yeah.
He was going there just to like rail one out and play. And then, ironically enough, or coincidentally, when I moved from the West Side to West Hollywood, I lived next door to Jim Morrison's last known residence on Norton Avenue in West Hollywood.
I like the Doors.
I did this just to find out.
I really do.
I did this to find out if you like the Doors.
There's lots of people that don't like the Doors.
Jack knows better than to believe the stories Andrew is spewing to seem cool. It wasn't enough to say that it was Jim Morrison's favorite burger spot, which, according to their website, it was. But Jack's right. Morrison was notoriously not an instrumentalist. He's a vocalist and a poet. My theory? That part of the story is an add-on because Andrew is a comic and could smell that his story wasn't getting the reaction that he wanted. And speaking of Andrew Santino's stories, Jack Black came on the podcast to talk about his, at the time, upcoming movie Borderlands. They brought it up, but did as bad friends tends to do, and moved on quickly to their own stories. Watch as Andrew goes off on a whole spiel about this, that, and his own experiences with the other thing, and Jack Black politely but masterfully redirects him.
Are you in SAG? I'm up my points. Yeah, I'm building up the points or whatever, right? That was a whole thing. If you were in SAG or not, you know what I mean?
There's a catch-22. You couldn't get a job unless you were in SAG, but you can't get SAG unless you get a job.
Right. And then there's this mysterious thing called Taft-Hartley. I don't know what the fuck that is. Is that what am I even saying it right?
Yeah, Taft. Yeah,
Taft.
Well, they merged after AFTRA and SAG merged, but Taft-Hartley was how you got into
That's what I'm saying.
the back door.
I said it right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Inside baseball talk.
But the truth is, if the director really wants you, they'll find a way to get you into SAG to do the movie. It just costs a little more money. It's a little more hassle, but
That happened. Mark Pellington, the guy that directed the first thing I ever did when the studio I worked at as a PA, I got this role to deliver Luke Wilson a pizza. and then they overshot, and the PA, I did 13 hours in a trailer, just like sitting, waiting, like excited. The PA came and was like, cutting your scene, good night. And I was like, oh my God. Fucking killed me, dude.
Yeah.
And then Mark Pellington was smoking a cigarette. By the way, that director, Mark Pellington, famously directed, if I'm not wrong, Jeremy, Pearl Jam's Jeremy. I think that was...
Great song.
I think that's what he did. Look that up. But he was smoking a cigarette or something, or hanging out by the trailers, and he was like, oh, I heard they fucking cut your shit. I was like, yeah. And then I wanted to be like, didn't you cut my shit?
Yeah. Where's they?
And then he was like, we'll get you back, dude. We'll
Lie.
No, he was true. They brought me back as a hospital orderly, and they gave me a line. I was like, sir, you can't be out of your room.
Wait, that's you? No, that's
man of his word.
Jeremy, yeah.
That's Jeremy, yeah.
No, but he was cool, man. That was a fucking really rad thing. But that was one, you need those little tiny moments sometimes to like give you a little bit more hope. Because after that, I thought, fuck, man. I was so excited to have one line to maybe get in the union, to be able to get another job. And
it's a huge thing.
That dude did a big favor.
I got it, talking about that and about Borderlands, sorry to bring it back, but...
When I saw Jack stroking his beard, I wondered what was on his mind, as he didn't exhibit that kind of nervous behavior throughout the rest of the interview. And truthfully, Andrew didn't do anything damning in this episode. I just thought it was funny the way Jack wouldn't put up with his BS. I noticed that Santino does this thing where, when people who are more famous than him come on the show Bad Friends, he kind of bites their style a little, you know? Like, he'll take little mannerisms or phrases from them and pretend like that's just how he talks. I'm going to do another video based around that specifically, but I noticed he did it with Sebastian Maniscalco too. Anyway, if you enjoyed this coverage or the fact that this video is a fraction of the length of my other work, or have any other suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and in the meantime, be nice.